Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Purpose and Profit. I am joined with Curtis today, coming out of North Carolina. He is a growing insurance adjuster and he is looking to scale outside of North Carolina and also kind of integrate with additional businesses and assisting other people in buying businesses and just providing an overall resource, go-to as you can for everybody around. So it's really awesome. I'm really excited to have you on today, Curtis. Tell me a little bit about you.
Yeah, for sure. Well, as far as my career path, it definitely had its ups and downs with getting into business for myself. Um, I live north of Charlotte, about an hour. I'm 44 years old. I have two kids. I'm married to a wonderful lady who is able to homeschool our kids. So we spend a lot of time together. We love to travel and love to get out and meet people. I get energy when I'm around people and love to help, love to bring value to other people, especially families. And uh, my passion is also revolving around men. And so men finding a healthy space to find sanctuary, find healing if they've had past traumas and wounds, like myself. And I also love business. So my background is construction. I started in construction when I was 11 years old, and my life didn't start out normal. We aren't normal, right? So after being born in Kentucky, my family, which included my sister and I at the time, moved to Haiti and grew up there for 4 years with helping out with our local church, moved back to Kentucky and was involved with my local school there. And then we decided to move. And during that time, my parents decided, hey, it's a good time to homeschool you since we won't be able to integrate in the local community. So homeschooling has been a part of my past as well. So back when it was not popular, almost had to like hide those things back in the day. And so along with that came hard work because I'm one of 8 kids and 4 boys and 4 girls. So a hardworking family. I started in the summers. My first summer started with a construction crew since my dad had a construction business when I was 11 years old. So, yeah, started in construction and had been moving along that path, not necessarily enjoying all the aspects of it, but being outdoors was also one of my passions. And being in creation, I also like to hunt and fish. And so being outside was really good for me. In early 2000s, had a pretty traumatic back injury, which required surgery after a couple months of trying preventative things to help me with the healing. Was not successful with that, and so needed to pivot from being the guy that was lifting all the heavy things to more into the management side of things. That was a process. So part of that was mindset, not also recognizing some of my giftings and talents, and sort of needed to grow in that as well, which also led me to becoming involved as a insurance adjuster. So when I started in the business, I worked independently, but was not fully self-employed. And so when there was an influx of claims, for example, a hurricane or an influx of claims for, a hailstorm covered a large swath, I would travel some and handle some of those claims. And that could be for different carriers. And also saw the writing on the wall where I I could only reach a particular income bracket on my own in this field, which I was capped, and so found out that the only way really to sort of remove that cap was to start my own venture, and that came back in 2020 when I became a licensed public adjuster, which is confusing for some people because a public adjuster works as a quasi attorney. That's really the best way to explain it. I'm not an attorney. I'm not here to give legal advice, but that's sort of the way that it works with representing homeowners or the insured, the one holding the policy. So part of the value that I'm looking to bring to the real estate community and communities that I'm involved with is being able to talk to investors and help them navigate some of their claims, but even before they have a claim, to understand how a claim works and how that you can maximize the benefit of the claim. So that's partly due to we lost our home when I was, I think, 8 years old after coming back from Haiti. The house burnt to the ground shortly after Christmas, and the only thing left standing was a chimney. And so a lot of folks that are involved in some of these claims don't know their rights, don't understand what should be afforded to them because they're hardworking individuals who've worked very hard for what they what they own. However, they don't understand how insurance really works and to navigate through some of those things. Before that, though, I'm backing up a little bit. Um, I was part of a family business and here in North Carolina and decided to move on. And part of that was also selling some shares. And I knew that if I just attempted on my own to um, take the money and then put it into things that I didn't really know, it probably wouldn't go well, i.e., the stock market, didn't understand the stock market, wasn't really that interested in it at the time. I'm dabbling in it now, but I decided to go the real estate route. And so I knew that if I did not leverage what I had, Uncle Sam, again, who has never showed up for one of my birthday parties or even Christmas, was going to take a lot of the money. Wasn't that much, but I knew I wanted to leverage it. So I began to learn about real estate. I was scared to death from, attorneys. It's a big, scary word, as well as title companies. How do they work? How does the whole thing work? As I was beginning to learn about wholesaling, and wholesaling was a way for me to really sort of learn the process, but at the time wasn't necessarily needing to make money. I needed to spend some of the money. And so I wanted to buy properties, but leverage the money that I had, which led me to Pace Morby, who is my mentor as well as a hero of mine, helped me understand the power of leverage. And that got me really excited. Actually met Pace Morby before he was quote unquote sub two. And that was really cool. I met him at a real estate meetup and was super excited. Didn't really know what this whole creative finance thing was, but I wanted to learn. So before Sub 2 started, I actually ended up joining the Astro flipping community, and they are focused more on wholesaling. Again, I needed to learn real estate, and this was an easy entry for me as well, to sort of go that route. About a month or two after I joined, Sub 2 started. So I then joined Sub 2 as well. So I did like Uncle Lanza back in 2020. I did my first two Sub 2 deals, never having done a module or training. Wouldn't necessarily recommend that to everyone, but it worked out. And so again, as we know from our mentors, imperfect action, it is always a good start. It's easier to move a ship that is moving or steer a ship in the right direction versus one that's dead in the water. And so, there's a lot of things that we can fix, but one of those things that we can't fix is if we're not doing anything, how are we actually going to move forward in life?
I agree with that wholeheartedly. Wild, imperfect action is better than standing still every day. Um, what an amazing, like, kind of chronological story there. And so, um, ironically, just so you know, I actually have 6 kids and we homeschool our, this year it'll be our bottom three, because the bigger ones are bigger. But, so very interesting dynamic similarities there. So I also just want to tell you, so I have a personal rental property that we had, it got hit with the hurricane last year. And we went round for round with insurance for months to the point where like you said, like I'm in real estate and I was like, I literally I don't understand like what you're asking. I don't know what you want. Like none of it makes sense. And we went and got an adjuster and like it was night and day, life saving. So the knowledge that you guys have and the ability to help in those situations that are exceptionally stressful, and you kind of have the big insurance company that's using all this jargon that they know that nobody understands, and just the relief that people in your profession provide, I just wow, I just really, I know you're like, oh, I do this every day. But for the people in the world that do not do this every day, I tell everyone now, just go get an adjuster. Like just from the beginning, go get an adjuster because you have somebody that knows what they're doing that's fighting on your side. Very similar, like I started in real estate as a transaction coordinator, so kind of I'm the same way, right? Like I'm the person fighting in your corner to make sure everything goes smoothly. And so I just respect it so much and I see the powerful benefit of what you do right now. So I do hope that you do find a way to scale and help more people because it's just powerful. And investors probably need you the most because they don't really know what they're doing in that space at all. So very cool. So there's so many like mindset shifts for you from going from like being in a family business to working
Hmm.
under somebody to becoming your own boss. And I love that you're trying to scale this into multiple businesses. And so, what do you kind of vision on as you're scaling and as you're partnering with people to buy businesses? How do you envision that happening? Like, what's your dream in that?
That's such a good question because if I make it about myself, um, I don't think that it's going to wake me up at 4 a.m. every day. And so this is, yes, it's about me because I'm involved, but there's a lot of other people involved. I've done some math, um, also with the help of AI, on sort of the vision that I feel God has given me, and it will impact a minimum of 19,000 people. That's just on the business side. So, how many families, how many single dads, how many single moms, how many kids that need a job potentially, or maybe help them buy a business or start a business or give them ideas or motivation, whatever that looks like. And so I think utilizing some of those dreams and the talents that God has given me to be able to pass that on to the next generation and beyond. How is it going to motivate me, or what does it look like? I think that providing value up front instead of, you know, if if you have a home and you are an investor, how many times do you get a text message or a call from someone and say, "Hey, you know, do you want to sell your home?" Now, if I was in dire straits, that would be amazing. But without knowing what's going on in my life, you're not really going to be able to ask me the correct questions. So we may think at the time that we're doing somebody a favor, and sometimes that works. But how much better if we're looking at buying a business to say, here, Mr. Owner, have you considered that your business is a value? You're 70, 80 years old, 65 years old, looking to retire. A lot of people don't even know that their business is valued at X factor, right? So helping them understand some of those things as well as gain the knowledge to be able to, if their kids don't want to take it on, for example, to give them the tools necessary to where they can maximize their potential as well and the value of their business. And by doing that, you place yourself in a position as a professional to be able to help them transition, to let their business, let a homeowner find sanctuary, right, in you protecting that asset. You continuing providing business opportunities for the employees. And the way that that my vision sort of is encapsulated is by also, if we buy a business, we want to buy homes around that business as well to allow the employees to find housing in the event they've been turned down by banks, and vice versa. If we own homes in a particular area, we also want to buy businesses to allow those homeowners to have stable jobs moving forward. So it is a symbiotic relationship that we're looking to create.
Absolutely. And I think good quality employment can just not be overlooked. I have friends that they worked for an employer 17 years and they were just let go. Or, I live in Central Florida, so a lot of people, the pay versus cost of living, it's just not matching up. And so I think that business owners that are coming in and partnering with sellers to keep that legacy, to take care of their people. All of that is just going to be so vital in what it looks like for the next generation of business owners. So I think that's incredible.
Yeah, totally. So I think that if we provide value first to the community, saying, "Look, I'm not looking to take. I am a business owner, right? We all have to feed ourselves and we have to take care of our families. But if I can provide value to you first, I feel like the handoff is going to be that much easier, whether it's helping a distressed seller or someone looking to purchase a home that's been turned down by the bank, 5 times in the past, 15 years, being able to help those people create their own legacies, right? And so think about the pride of a man that's able to take care of his family. Not only do that, but give his wife maybe a dream home, right? And then those working professionals that just can't afford a home on their own, providing a safe place for them to um, commingle with others, right? And healthy synergies there. That this whole thing is providing value to the community, and by working together with other business owners, being able to create really an amazing platform for people to excel and grow.
Fully. And like a continued ripple effect of a community. So that's amazing. So what are the best ways that if someone wanted to partner with you or someone was looking to help you make that impact, what value can they bring to you?
Definitely, the first thing would be to set up a conversation, right? Because I also need to understand their strengths. Because by someone providing something to me, I also want to provide something back. And so the best thing to do is really just schedule a call with me, reach out to me. You can find me on Instagram at the Curtis Eaton, and we can schedule a call. I can shoot you a calendar link. Presently, what I'm looking for as well, I'm in the midst of doing some interviews right now, is looking for an operator. The operator will free me up to expand business as well as buy more real estate for our portfolio. We presently own properties in North Carolina, West Virginia, and Kansas, looking to expand in the Southeast. And our model is going to focus on purchasing these homes, leveraging them, and going probably 60% co-living as well as 40%. We also do wraps and offer financing for people that are, again, turned down by the banks. And as far as the business buying opportunities, we're looking for 12 service businesses. So insurance related businesses, as well as a auto collision center. And from that would spring, the offshoots of that would look like maybe a mechanic shop to help with some of the vehicles that would need some mechanical work, as well as a towing company, so on and so forth. That would be sort of a sister or parent or sister company to the main company there as well.
That's awesome. Well, I hope a lot of people reach out, and I hope to circle back in about 6 months and just kind of see the success that you're having and the impact that you're having. I really appreciate you taking the time out today to have conversation with me. And I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you having me. It's been a pleasure.
Of course.